Christopher Smallwood. In this presentation, a brief introduction to research designs, I'm going to discuss quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods designs. I'll tell you a little bit about each and how they're related. To understand research design, you first need to understand the research process. The research process starts out with asking a question. That question should fill gaps in current knowledge related to whatever issue is being studied. The question should include the population, the intervention, the comparison, and the outcome. After the question is asked, the researcher needs to decide what kind of design would best answer that question. Then the intervention is applied to the participants. Data is collected about the intervention. An analysis is done on the data collection, and results are interpreted. The interpretation of results should yield the answer to the question. What is a research design? A research design is a systematic process for conducting research. When a researcher wants to do a project, he or she needs to write up a proposal that includes all information from start to finish. It establishes the type of study being done. It provides the research question and variables, both independent and dependent, and also talks about how the research project is going to fill gaps in current knowledge. It describes the methods and procedures of the study, the sample, who is going to be studied, why did that group get chosen, and how are they chosen. It includes inclusion and exclusion criteria. Inclusion, for example, would be 25 to 65 years old, whereas exclusion might be anyone under 25 or anyone over 65. How data will be collected, how data will be analyzed, and also expected limitations. If the researcher expects any kind of limitations during the study, with data collection, with selecting participants, with any other issue, he or she needs to have a plan to fix that. Quantitative design is an empirical design type dealing with statistical techniques to analyze raw data. Examples include experimental, that would be random clinical control trials, descriptive, which would be surveys, or reviews like a systematic review. Collect numeric data to answer specific and narrow research questions. Quantitative design benefits and limitations. The benefits of quantitative design are that it's easiest to reduce bias. When you're dealing with numbers, it's hard to have subjectivity. You can easily give that raw data to another researcher. They can interpret it and come out with the same results that you did. A random sample is possible. It answers the what, when, and where information about a project. The results are statistically significant. Also, there are lower associated costs and time involved. The limitations include that data provide the answer to the research question, but they don't give you why information. You don't know why people chose what they chose. You don't know why something is happening the way it is. Qualitative design is an experiential under-observational design type. It deals with coding and interpretation of thematic data to yield results. It provides all of the why information that was missing from quantitative design. Types include phenomenological, that would be a person's experiences in life, and ethnographic, how a person fits within their cultural context. It collects objective and thematic information to be interpreted. Qualitative design benefits and limitations. With qualitative design, the benefits are that you're gathering personal experience information. You're answering all of those why questions that you couldn't answer in quantitative design. The limitations are that you're providing data to answer the qualitative research question, but don't yield statistical or empirical evidence. Also, with a qualitative design, often researchers are using interviews and other long-term processes to gather information, so associated costs and time involved are greater. Mixed methods design is the best of both worlds. It mixes both quantitative and qualitative designs, incorporating the statistical analysis with thematic information. You're getting the why information to fill in the gaps of quantitative, and you're getting the what, where, and when information to fill in the gaps with qualitative. Mixed methods designs are either convergent or sequential. Convergent would be when you have two studies going on at the same time, so one quantitative and one qualitative, and then they converge at the end to yield results. Sequential would be one after the other, so you might have a quantitative first and then a qualitative, or a qualitative first and then a quantitative, and then they mix at the end for results. The benefits and limitations of mixed methods design. The benefits are that you're including the benefits of both qualitative and quantitative designs. You're filling in the gaps of information left out by each. The limitations are that associated costs are high. If you have to go through interviews, surveys, different kinds of methods for each of them, the costs are going to be very high. Also, the time involved will be very high. You have to do interviews and thematic interpretation, and then converge all of the results for both studies at the end. As a result, it's harder to justify the need for a mixed method study.